So finally, we have reached Capstone 2 and super excited to talk about this Capstone project as well, which talks about data analytics for human capital. In any organization, human capital plays a very important role. And if you get a scope or a chance to analyze human capital data, I mean, how interesting it would be, right? So let's delve into this particular journey of understanding and a project which will be related to human capital. So I will show you the data. This data would be a bit tricky data, and we will set the expectations right. And definitely we will be giving you a scope to further enhance and work on this particular capstone project. So usually what I have seen in different courses is that they just leave you with the data and then say that, okay, you work of your own. That is a good approach. But then the purpose of this particular program is data analysis, not data. I mean, not from the perspective. I mean, when you're talking about the project, so I'm not expecting here to. I mean, I say from data engineering perspective, any skills for you to showcase. So you would require some assistance in terms of getting this data in place. So though we have already discussed this I would recommend that you come to this particular video only when you are not able to understand the I mean how what to perform in that particular data. So this is like having insight of how data analytics can work in human capital data. Very important. So for this, what we have done is, I mean, we have got human capital data, and this human capital data is in two formats. One is JSON format and one is XLSX format. So first of all, I will show you the XLSX format, and then I would show you the files that are there already. One is the core HR and one is the recruitment cost. So both these files go hand in hand, and so these data sets, I mean, you can pick up production staff and other things also, but I'm just giving you a heads up of how do we start the analysis and what are the challenges that you might face while working with the HR or human capital data. So how the data looks like. So first of all, let's go to the core HR data, which is the, I mean, simple core data. I mean, this is a downloadable file. It's not that I have developed this file. So there might be some data points which are completely not required. Let's take an example for something like this race description. So we are not talking, we should not be talking about that. So we should be removing that. So anything that, I mean, that doesn't fit to this analysis, we will immediately move it out from the data model itself, right? So I'm just giving you some heads up on that. Now, you might say that you could have removed it. So now the challenge is, this is a CSV format. I have all choices to remove this, but actually this file will be not given to you as a CSV, but it will be given to you as a JSON. So the core HR file would look something like this. Now removing that particular column which we just mentioned would be a bit difficult over here. So that's why we don't want to do it in this data level. We are bringing the data as it is. After that, we will do the transformation. Same goes with another file, which is JSON file. But you see over here, when you open this JSON file, hardly you will have an understanding of this particular data from here. What is happening within the data? That's where you need the Excel file just as a supporting file. I mean, there are many tools which can convert JSON to table. You can take that as well, or you can directly use Power BI to understand the data. So the recruitment cost CSV looks something like this. It is actually a it's a pivoted file actually. So an organization. So I'll tell you what is the analysis that we are looking forward to. So welcome to this. The agenda is actually to find the most common factors, I mean, based on the employees attrition, and also to find out some of the KPIs, not only in terms of attrition, but also in terms of your, let's say, where are we spending in terms of acquiring skills. So those kind of things we need to see as a part of the human capital analysis. So we'll see employee satisfaction, how to calculate and other things also. Average tenure. So all these things are coming under your human capital actually. So let's go back to the data. So not everything might be visible over here in this particular file, but this is just a directional thing, just to get some understanding about the data. Now there is a challenge over here if you see that the data is in a pivot format. So one challenge that our Power BI file would face is to unpivot this data. So those are the things that I will be showing you live, but after that you have to continue the journey and then prepare it as a demo to be presented as a capstone project. We saw both the files. We go to Power BI. And this time this is not Excel file. So what we will do, we will go back to the more option and then try to find out the JSON. So JSON is directly over here. We can click on JSON and then we can point to our data. So this is the human capital data going to JSON, and first of all taking the core HR JSON and say open. This is one part of it, just taking one file. And if you notice over here, the moment you take that file, it immediately takes you to Power Query Editor, right? And you can just have a look at how the data is looking over here. So now this one is like you have the text, you have the numericals and other things. And as we said that we don't want let's say this Latino and this race description and all, we can remove these columns immediately. And the date is proper. Citizen description is still fine. Date of termination, and you will know that okay, valid is 34, MTV 66 means what? If you talk about the date of termination, it simply says that 34% have attrited. And 66% empty means what? They are still active. That's why they do not have the date of termination. So these are the business knowledges that you need to have in mind when you look at the data. Complete perspective you should be having. Reason for termination will only come when it is terminated, or it can come other ways also. Not applicable or something like this. There might be some challenges in the data, as you can see that if this is a date, you should not be having a reason for termination if this is there's a date over here. So we might be going for some cleaning activities over here, but at the moment not interested in performing such cases right now. Then we have the performance codes and the employee source. So employee source is something which is very important from our analysis perspective. So this is first file, we close and apply. So directly getting it from JSON. So we did not have to do anything specific to get this core HR. It came directly. But now what we will do is we are going to more and then we are getting this another JSON. So let's see. And this time it will be the recruitment cost. A bit tricky. So let's see. Yeah, recruitment cost. But the thing is that this has got data in a pivot format. So what you need to do is we need to unpivot this. So when you say unpivot, before that what we see is you notice that this has got a pivot, which means there is a total also. But when you have the data in Power BI, we don't require the total because total can be calculated at any point of time. So we simply remove the total. And then what you do is we need to unpivot. So what we need to do is we click on this source, and then we say transform, and then we say unpivot. But unpivot, if you simply say unpivot, then it will unpivot this employment source columns. No, we want to say that unpivot all the other columns that are there. So we say unpivot other columns, and automatically it will come like this. You will find the challenges now. What are the challenges that you might face, and how do we mitigate that? So this capstone project is all related to that. So this is, let's say I call it as my month, and this is actually the amount. So these two, absolutely. So it looks absolutely fine. So the data has come one below another. So it is properly unpivoted, and the data is looking absolutely good till now. So now what we do is we need to go back to this place and say close and apply. We go back. And then what we do is we know that, okay, we have unpivoted it properly. What is the reason? Because there is an employment source over here and there is an employee source over here. Now the point was that why am I not getting them connected? You should have connected automatically, but now you see there is a challenge. So employee source coming to employment source, and you see there is an ambiguity. So it says many to many, which means that definitely, I mean, when you have unpivoted the data, recruitment cost also have employment source multiple times because every month data is coming. And also if you go to this core HR, you will find, because I mean, multiple employees can come from a particular data employment source, right? So you might have, I mean, data sources over there as well. So which means that there is an ambiguity and many to many issues are there. So what you need to do, you need to actually, this is a very tricky part, and it has not come into that our scenarios that we have developed or designed. So that's why I'm discussing this specifically in a capstone project. What you require to do in these cases. What you need to do is you need to create your own dimension out of this data. Now the question arises, and 90% of my participants during the training has given me a wrong answer. I simply asked, if I have to make a dimension, an additional table out of this data, which table you would use? Employee source, I mean the core HR or the recruitment cost. 90% of the participants, based on seeing the data, say that, oh my God, so much of data they have, so we should be taking it from core HR. That's the general intuition. Now I tell you that understand from business perspective. That is why business understanding is required. So imagine you have the employee source from the core HR. So definitely you have an employee number, and then where this employee was hired from. So the employee source is there. Very good. Perfect. Fine. Now it is possible that you might have spent some money for the recruitment cost. Let's say you have, paid to some company intranet partner, let's say. Let's take an example. But there are no hirings. So if that is the case, then there will not be any matching record in core HR. So if you pick up employee source from core HR to make a new dimension, you might miss out on data. And when I told this, they said, yes, that makes sense. This is where you require business knowledge also. And that is where we come into picture. To give you that holistic approach. It's not only just giving you data, and then just making a chart, it's not that training that is provided by 90% of the people in this world. We are in that 10% bracket where we handhold using very, very specific problems, very, very specific niche problems that you might face while working on data analytics project. This is one of that. And it doesn't stop here. I mean, we are available. We are approachable. Definitely, at any point of time, you can take appointment and then meet us online, offline, whatever suits you. I'm sitting in one country, you want me to come to another country, welcome. I can do that. So anyway, I mean, from a recruitment cost, we have gone to some countries. So we say cancel, we don't take this. And now is the time we go to the transformation. This is the transformation that we need to do. So we agreed that core HR is not the way forward. We need to use recruitment cost. So recruitment cost, if I need to make a dimension from, so what the first step is to just make a duplicate of this. You simply say duplicate. Duplicate. And then what we do is quickly rename this. We can say, not rename. So we quickly call it as, let's say, source mapping. Some name we can just give. Source mapping. And then when you say source mapping, what you need to do, you need to have only the employment source, right? You don't require this month and amount. What you need to do is actually you need to, when you create a dimension, you need to actually find and remove the duplicates. That's the task actually. So what you need to do, you simply, you can delete these two columns and then keep the first column. Or what you can do, you can just click on the first one. Imagine you have 100 columns or 1000 columns, so you have 100 columns you have. Let's not complicate things. Out of 100 columns, you have to delete 5 columns. Right? So what will be easier? Focusing on the 95 columns, highlighting them and then delete, or clicking on the 5 columns and say, please remove the rest. This feature was not there until, maybe few years back. It has been added recently, and so many people don't focus on these small aspects. And after giving this training, we say, oh wow, this is also possible. Yes, this is possible. You have to understand where to apply these techniques. So we click on this employment source and we say remove columns, but we say remove other columns, and it immediately removes the other columns. And you can see on the right hand side, everything is being captured, and as a macro, it is being captured over here. And now what you need to do, you need to just say right click and say remove duplicates. So you will see this option called remove duplicates, because you need only once. Because if you don't create it under once, then you will not be able to treat it as a dimension and it will not be coming to our model. What we need to do, we simply say close and apply, and now you see the magic. Automatically the source mapping has been connected. So you have the source mapping, this is the master dimension you can say, and ideally this particular employee source should connect to this employee source, and it works. It works perfectly. Now what happens, this much task is done. Now what we do is we say that we are ready to actually create some visuals. And then what we do is we take up our recruitment cost. Let's say we know the month. So we have, so first of all, we can, I would highly recommend, remove this, highly recommend to create our very own measures table, because there will be some measures over here also, and we will say measures and load this. And the first thing that we are going to do over here is we will right click on the measure and create a measure which will say total amount. So you can say total total recruitment cost is equal to, you say calculate, and you say sum of amount from the recruitment cost, and then it is done, and you say enter. Total recruitment cost, very good. And now we can remove this column. You can delete it from model. General practice, we have already done this so many times and you should be acquainted with this. Now you bring in the total recruitment cost. I mean, you see that the value is there. But now what you do is you bring it over here and you want to do some analysis. What kind of analysis? You want to just maybe put this label over here. We want to actually get this recruitment cost across months. So what you need to do is you just come here and say my month and then bring it over here. Instantly what you see is that okay, it has bifurcated, and this is the same problem that you have faced in one of the modules also, right? I would request that you stop this video right here and stop this module right here and then apply your understanding and then see whether you can mitigate this. The idea is to see recruitment cost month on month. So what you need to do is we need to just go here, and you know that okay, I'm talking from the perspective of let's say month, ascending order, and I should be sorting it based on month. When you sort it based on month, this is what is happening. So April comes first and September comes last based on the alphabetical order. This is the challenge. So to mitigate this challenge, two things we need to do. First of all, we need to bring another table to take that month part, and then always remember these months and all these things should not be coming from a a fact or a dimension table. It should come always from the date dimension table. So that is very important over here. So what you need to do is, I need to bring up a small month-wise calendar, right? So what you need to do is, I simply go to Excel, and then what I do is, I say month name, and month number. So we capture it like this: January and December, and then I say 1, 2, bring it to 12. That's it. Now what you need to do is, I need this into my Power BI. Again, I told you that if the data set is small, you may choose not to take this entire Excel and then bring it. So you can actually just copy this and paste it in Power BI. That is also a possibility. You go here, you say I want to enter this data directly. Remember this option what we used for measures now will be used as, let's say, date mapping. I can call it as date mapping, and you simply say okay, load. Don't expect that the moment you load this, automatically there's all charts and everything. No. We have not reached that epitome of artificial intelligence, right? So you go to the model and you see that this is lying over here. So what you need to do is now to connect this month name to our my month. And you see that it is automatically now connected. Absolutely fine. Now what you need to do is, I told you that the date should be coming from not that from the child tables, but from the master date dimension table. So you bring the month name over here, and you see there is no as such no difference over here. It is still showing the same. But now you will see the magic. This also we have covered in our modules. So now anyway, let me just save it. So Capstone 2 and HR analysis demo file. This is just the beginning. You can create as many dimensions, measures on top of this file, right? You got this? And then what you do is, after all these things, you simply go ahead and go to the data, open the date mapping. This is the simplest trick. Click on the month name and just tell Power BI, next time if somebody is just working on this month name and asking for sorting, please sort it based on the number, not me. because I'm just looking like an alphabetical order data. So you just need to click on this small section which says sort by column, and then just go to this option called month num. That's it. And here you have January, February till December. This is what we wanted. So the highlights of this particular session is to just give you an understanding where all the challenges that you might face. So now the data is absolutely clean. I mean, if you talk about the recruitment cost and the source, I mean the core HR data, you have variety of data. You have starting from the marital status and the date of hiring, employment status, then you have other things, department, manager name, and the score, performance score, so many things you have in this particular file. And I would urge and request you to play around with this data and come up with some good insights out of this particular data. So that is all from the perspective of Capstone 2. I mean, all these tenure and everything, attrition and all these things you can calculate from that particular data. Try some other data sets also. This is just a initiation that we have done in terms of giving you Capstone project knowledge. But this is not the end of data analysis, right? So you have all choices to go beyond. That's it from this particular module where we talked about Capstone number 2, HR analytics data. Thank you.